Hey, party people. What's up, y'all? I hope you guys have been having a good week so far. We are going to get into the festivities of tonight. I did change the time to 8 p.m. I am here. I'm live now. I am just about to sort of get into the groove, I guess. Hopefully you guys are sort of still in here with me. Gave it about 15 minutes for everyone to get into the room so I could also get myself into the space so I could get into the channel. Hopefully y'all ain't have completely left the space. Y'all are coming back because I did say 8:15. But we're gonna go and dive into the festivities, guys. We'll go into the countdown and get lit. All right, guys.
Looking at herself in the mirror on the restroom door. Voices in her head that mirror what she's heard before.
Hey, y'all. So I was just getting the cards ready for us as well. Just kind of like making sure that I'm nice and ready for y'all as well. I am sweaty tonight, guys. My hands are sweating. I don't know what's up. Something in the atmosphere. What have we got for tonight? Thank you guys for hanging with me with the time change as well, my people. I know maybe some people that probably want to be here, maybe we won't be able to make it, but I'm trying to get consistent for y'all, and this is the only way that I can contain my other, I guess, commitments along with this new wave. I'm just trying to ride the wave, y'all. So I'm adjusting slowly but surely. Yeah, lots to learn still. Right. Let's see what the list is looking like. I don't know. Do we have a list formulated? Hey guys, who would be the first person on the list if there were to be? I guess Gypsy was the first person in the room. So, hey y'all, I don't know if we can get some assistance, if someone can help us out and sort of like get a list together for us. The guides did say I probably have like room for about 10 readings tonight, which also does mean that they're gonna be keeping it short, I guess, to a certain extent. So yeah, can someone help us out and get the list together for us? I don't know if Kayla is in the room with us. She's usually good at getting the list together. If you're here with us, we need some guidance and assistance, please. Thank you. Your gifts and efforts are much appreciated. We're going to go and get started with Gypsy. I don't know if you've got a question for us, Gypsy, seeing as you were the first person to the room. You would have been right up there on the queue. So if you've got a question, that's what's up. Kayla, I see you, girl. That's what's up. Oh, I love this. Do you know what? I'm actually going to be getting back into the collective for these. So you just confirmed it for me. I was questioning to the guides. They gave me the assignment and I was like, yeah, we shall see if I decide to go into it. But I guess this is just confirmation. Let's see for you, Kayla, a personal little reading for you. Okay. 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 For the most part, I can see that you're in a good place with where you've come from. There's definite thank you. Oh, oh, thank you, beautiful Aries goddess. Do you know what? Y'all are just That's what's up. How many have we got on the list so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, the list is closed, y'all. Look at that, V. Look at that. You're the last person on the list. The list is closed. We've got our setup for tonight, guys. So Gypsy wants a love reading for September. Let's see, what do you see happening for Gypsy during this season of September romantically? Okay, releasing the shadow side. So it was interesting because as I sort of separated the deck, what it was showing me was that you've kind of like moved past certain resentments when it comes to certain situations. It feels like for this month, there's almost, and this is, how can I put it? I wouldn't necessarily say it's isolation, but your energy seems a little bit withdrawn. And let me explain it. It's like you've gone through this process of like cleansing your energy and you're like really sensitive, right? You're kind of like not taking any BS with the situation type thing, just in general. Like that's just kind of like where you're at in life in general right about now. You're kind of just you've gone through this spiritual retrieval. That's the best way that I can put it. It feels like you've expanded on some of like your limitations. You've kind of like moved some of your boundaries out, or you've experienced that you did that before and now you're kind of reconstructing your boundaries. Let's see if there's a love interest sort of coming into the space, or what's, oh, okay. It feels like it's that kind of class. Okay, so I guess this season for you, as far as the month of September, romantically, you're focusing on healing family issues. And it does mean that, how can I put it? When I say in the context of you being able to kind of heal family issues, it feels like there's some, it feels like there's some stagnation that's been kind of holding you back. I don't know what your dynamics is around family. I don't know if it feels like there's a lot of, I wouldn't say pressure, but just maybe burdens or certain things that you find yourself carrying that may not necessarily free up entirely the kind of space for romance to flow in the way that you'd like it to. It feels like there's a little bit of lack of direction in terms of romance for you this month during September. But it does mean, outside of like the focus being on some of the disappointments, because that's kind of like how they're showing it to me. There's like times where there's like a lot of intense anxiety. Do you question to you, Gypsy, do you kind of like question whether or not like you're going to be like lonely or alone? Is that a thing that you're navigating through this season? Are you feeling like waves of loneliness? Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, for the most part, they're kind of showing that you're completing a little bit of some of the unfinished business when it comes to family dynamics that may not make you as flexible as you need to for romance to blossom, is the way that they're putting it to me. Yeah, I hope that that was useful for you. Thank you, my love. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. What they do want to sort of like say as well, just kind of like closing the space out, just allow for your heart space to be open. I think that you have a tendency to kind of like, you're expecting the worst sometimes. Is the best way that I can put it. It's almost like you're hopeful for the best, but low key you're also sometimes just expecting the worst a little bit. So if you can balance that or bring that into balance a little bit more, it will help the transition into the romance situation, really blossoming in a less confusing state, because right now it feels like there's a lot of confusion around it. Okay. Right. Let's get on. I hope that that was useful for you, BTW. It seems like there's a lot going on for us during this season, collectively and beyond. Who do we have on the list next, y'all? Can I pin the list? Oh, I'm using StreamYard. I'm so sorry, y'all. Tech is not. I'm not a tech wizard. But I'm getting better. Don't worry, I'll figure out how to YouTube it later. I'm adept at the school of YouTube, so I'll figure it out. Who do we have? Oh, okay. The list is rolling on. Okay, thank y'all. This is what I like to see. Thank y'all for sort of like helping your sister out tonight, so we can get the assignment done and get the stuff that we need to get into our lives tonight. Is Vasila still in love with me or with that new girl? Oh, this is complicated. And I'm going to tell you why. We're going to put some cards on it. Smaradina wants to know about Vasilis and their feelings towards them. How does it compare to the feelings towards their current? Okay. Okay, and what's the feelings towards the current situation? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Now, so a few things with this situation, right? And this is why I said that it's complicated, because they feel differently about both of you guys. So for you, the card that we got for you, there's a soulmate connection, just so that you see I'm not like BSing, right? There's a soulmate connection with you. And I think we've spoken about this before. I'm not sure if it was yourself, and this clearly keeps coming up. And it's so funny because when I got your card first, at the bottom of the deck was romantic feelings. And then when I got her card as well, it was still romantic feelings. So this is why I said that it's complicated. And that's why I said I was going to unpack it, right? So the dynamics with you, it's kind of like they've shared certain parts of themselves with you, where they have become comfortable. How long did you guys kind of like, how long has this connection been anchored? So how long have you guys been feeling out the space? Because the situation here with the other girl, how he feels about that situation is that he kind of has to stay optimistic about it, but it feels like a safer place. So, you know, sometimes when you're trying to start over fresh and you're trying to escape your old self type thing, your old mannerisms, your old behaviors. Okay, so that makes sense, right? Sometimes when you're trying to escape your mannerisms and behaviors, you kind of, I guess, you shift out of certain realities, right? And anyone who is like vibrating on that frequency, they'll naturally sort of like phase out as well. Where am I going with this? So with them, they feel like this is kind of like a safe place to start fresh. This feels like a safe place for them to be able to kind of like, I guess, explore themselves all over again, or find a new part of themselves all over again. I think that they're seeking to be able to, I wouldn't say fill a void, but it feels like they're looking for this person to be able to bring out a certain side of them. I don't think that they've shared too much of themselves with this person as yet. I don't know, how long have they been with the current situation? Is this kind of like a recent dynamic that we've got going on here? Because there's still a lot of heart-to-heart conversations that haven't yet been had. So it does mean that they're kind of in it and not at the same time. So there's definitely romantic feelings towards both of you guys, towards you, because your connection, okay, see, it doesn't really compare, does it? That's not fair. That's like, 60 odd weeks in comparison to like 8 weeks. There's barely any weight. But I think at this point, he's just kind of like optimistic about how he can grow in this space. I guess he wants to experience a different part of himself. I think he wants to almost challenge himself, I guess, to be able to see if he could do things differently. I think even though there was like definitely this deep connection with you and this soulmate feeling, where it just felt natural and comfortable, I think that they kind of they see themselves, I guess, going somewhere. And I think in the space with you, I don't know that they were fully ready. I think this was the thing, right? So I think what it was, the longer you guys kind of like stayed together, there were all of these expectations that were growing, that were building. And I think that on their part, that they were still at a place where they weren't all the way decisive about certain things, right? If they were like fully ready to commit, and what that means to commit, and how that means them changing their lives, the compromises that they'd have to make, all of these factors were things that were coming into account. And I think that as they were sort of like taking these things into account, they almost felt like it would be easier. He wasn't ready. I was his first girlfriend. Okay, that makes sense. I see where they're going. I think that with this situation now, he can kind of like basically pick up on the areas where he fell short in the space with you. I don't think that he was like all the way ready. Clearly, you know why as well. So I think, you still hold like a really special place in his heart, because you guys shared that experience. Like, you got to be his first girlfriend, like you're his first girlfriend experience. So there's definitely like a special place in his heart for you. And there's romantic feelings that are still there, but I think in his new space as well, he's growing romantic feelings. The connection isn't like as tight as you guys. It's not as anchored. It's not as deep as you guys. But I think that that's because they haven't really shared enough of themselves. I think there's still some guards that are up, and they're still kind of like in the getting to know each other stage. So I think it's just complicated. I think that he loves you guys differently, or at least he has romantic feelings towards you guys that are different, because you guys are at different stages of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, he learned so much from the relationship with you. I believe. I genuinely believe that he's like, because I feel like that's his new challenge, taking the things that he's learned and like being able to kind of put it into effect. I don't think he's all the way there yet. I don't think he's like got it down, but I think he felt like it would have been easier to be able to start over with just someone new. And as far as like this person, I guess they have romantic feelings towards them, and they're exploring them at the minute. They still hold you dear in their heart, but I think that they're also kind of like, as they say, staying optimistic about the situation that they're navigating through as well, to see how they can grow and change. I think that they're looking at it as like a challenge for themselves. So yeah. I hope that that was useful for you. Beautiful. What's that one? What's that one? Aries goddess. Free list is closed, Ashika. Free list is closed, man. Sorry. Thank you, beautiful. Thank you for asking the question. I told you I was gonna unpack it. So yeah, that's where they're at with it. Thank you, Kayla. Hey, Ashika. Hey to you. What do you mean? Would I do 18 plus readings? What do you mean? I'm having a blonde moment. Tune in next week. Sub and hit the notification bell. That way you can sort of, because the times are changing. We'll see, just to be able to keep the consistency of this new algorithm. We'll see what time I go live next week. So yeah. Oh, I see where you go, girl. Sometimes even in doing the readings, I do kind of go into certain spaces. So if it's something that's naturally, I guess, out there merging with the channel that needs to be communicated, it will be. I don't go like too deep into the channels, but yeah, why not? Might be something to think about after 9 hours. Okay, let's go and dive into your question, Kayla. I love this. I'm so sorry, y'all. I get distracted. Right. Let's see. Dang, Kayla. Dang. Oh, snap. I wasn't ready. I'm sorry. Your question is literally like, I can feel my crown opening. Oh, dang. We gonna have a whole show, y'all. Okay. So, right, guys. And give us like the cliff notes, okay? Because remember, okay? What will happen when D finds out A's daughter isn't his? Like, give us the tea. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. It is heavy. Damn. Oh, sorry, my crown's opening. They want to give me the message. Oh, dang. Okay. Let's see. Hold on, let me see what's going on in the comments. It was a little messy. It was a little messy. But I think that's like my crown just open. Like I can feel all the downloads free to come in. Right, guys, come on. Because you know how it is. It's just that season. What do we see playing out with that situation? Because you're already showing me like, oh, okay. Okay. Oh. Someone's gonna tell. Someone's gonna tell. It's kind of like, and it's so funny, but it's like somebody who's like in their feelings type thing. So the way it gets delivered, I'll say this much: the way it gets delivered, your ex bestie got with your ex. That's crazy. Dang! Listen, Kayla, dang girl, like there is so much going on. This is why I read the chat. I should think not. I don't think she could be friends with you either. Like, she was low-key just plotting the whole time. Like, okay. So looking at the situation, what I'm seeing for the most part, right? This ain't coming out in like a pleasant situation. It's actually coming like from an emotionally immature place. So somebody's going to be bringing news. It's one of those things where things are going to be traveling Oh, dude, I'm telling you, when this stuff comes up, nobody feels great. Nobody feels great. Listen, like my stomach's churning. I feel sick. Oh, dude, it's not good. It is not good. Okay. For the most part, they can't believe it. They go into denial initially. Oh, they break the F down. I really want to cuss right now, but I'm trying to keep it sweet. But they break down. It's a lot of mental torment. I guess she tries to like make it better. Like she's trying to reassure and stuff, but no. There's a rupturing of the soul that occurs, I guess, at that point of their timeline. He definitely loses a piece of himself, and he goes through a process that really builds distrust. Oh, this is not good. It's karmic, but it's not good. Sorry, I'm checking what y'all are saying. I couldn't be friends with somebody that got with my ex either, but especially if me and my ex are on bad terms. But even if on good terms, why would she get with my ex in the first place? She definitely knew about her being. She wanted to get back with him, and and that's why you guys weren't friends to begin with. So like I wanna just like for a second, like, because God, listen, he's been giving me bare words. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna get better at like receiving my downloads and keeping notes, because the guys have given me at least like a good 5 words for y'all in like the space of today, I want to say, for like the battles ahead towards this week. But you were her friend. She wasn't your friend. That like, and I think that that's something that, you know, we got to watch out for the signs, man. Like genuinely, we've got to watch out for the signs. And when people show us who we are, we can't say, no, you're not that way. Say, hell yeah, you are that way. But if you want to change it, I mean, I'm willing to rock with you. But if you like being the way that you are, well, I gotta go. I don't have the tolerance. I don't have the capacity. I do not have the emotional space to be able to kind of, I feel like she was jealous the whole time. You think? She literally was like, do you know what? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you guys, right, about the spirit of competition and how it moves through friendships, because I lost a 20 odd year friendship to that spirit. And I saw it when it like brewed and manifested inside my friend. It was always there, to be fair. It was just, there was something specific. This very same thing. And I gave her my timeline. I knew what I was doing the whole time. She was doing shit subconsciously because she already had like contracts with the spirit of competition. But when I tried to talk to her about it, she was like, she don't know what I'm talking about, because that's how these gaslighting spirits play with you. Snakes on the 100%. It's, do you know what? It's so mad because it's really not necessarily it's not just like, some of these people really are just dumb in the nicest possible. And when I say dumb, I mean innocent. Let me put it like that. It's an unjustified innocence. It's an unjustified innocence. And what I mean by that is that a lot of these things are learned and taught behavior. So they get put into these contracts, because I know that my friend was actually fed to the spirit of competition by her mum. It was something that manifested. Her mum literally like cultivated this spirit within her. So sometimes they are innocent too, which is why I treated her with care and I removed myself and detached myself from the situation, without wanting to bring her harm naturally. Karma happens. Hence, this is your friend's karma playing out, and your, for lack of a better way of putting it, Kayla, I know you loved him once, but and your ain't shit boyfriend, okay? Because he ain't shit too for like going with your friend. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, okay? And what I mean by that is that morally, their compasses were both off. Both of their compasses were off. Shika, you can donate for a reading, which does mean that I guess you kind of like jump the queue, but that's once we've got confirmation of everything. But we're going with a list right now, okay? Just let me finish up with Kayla's stuff because this is hot. This is like hot. This is so close to home. Not necessarily the entire dynamic, but my friend who actually I gave my timeline. I can't say that she stole it. I gave her my timeline. And I'm gonna really do a story time with it. Do you know what? I'm gonna come and do a story time with y'all about that situation next Thursday and come and share with y'all about that situation because I'm about to reap the karma of that situation this month. God's about to rebalance the scales. And don't worry, Kayla, like I want to put that across, like the way that I'm feeling about how this situation plays out, trust me, they get in their karma. What did you say? Exactly. I wouldn't be so upset if she'd be honest and tell me she had feelings or was interested in him. I had to find out everything on my own. Yeah, they ain't shit. Both of them, they ain't shit. I'm sorry. They ain't shit, you know? But no, I am gonna come and share that with y'all because it's something that I literally, and it's so funny because I was just like, I was really having a conversation with myself today. So I separate myself from my human a lot. It's the way that it's the best way for me to be able to have my human experience and understand that I have lows and highs, and you know, sometimes my body is just going through some hormonal shifts. So I was like really having a conversation with my human today, just talking about how far we've actually come because these things hurt. And I want to put this across as well, Kayla, because you presented this question because I'm sure that you're still navigating through like the levels of distrust that dynamic actually like created for you, you know? And I think like that hasn't fallen on deaf ears. I think that God has definitely heard like the sorrow of your pain. Like he's heard how it's hurt you. And he hasn't necessarily taken it lightly, but like that shit comes crumbling down. And I'm sorry for cussing, but like this shit's so ratchet. Like I have to go there, y'all. Okay? Like, yeah, like it really does come crazy. Like for him, the way that I felt this space, like I could see him literally just kind of like breaking down, can't really find his words, like he's anxiety on another level, it's like a panic attack instantly in the moment. There's a lot of confusion now, like there's just a complete shift, and like she's over here trying to like, no, it's all good, but it's not that kind of situation. Like he gets hurt bad and it makes me feel good. I'm sorry. That's the human in me. I'm just saying. And I'll tell you why, Kayla, right? Because people, they make decisions, and I mean this as a collective. We, let me not say they, because I got my own lessons too that I done learned, and I'm still learning, okay? But a lot of the times we make decisions and we don't weigh up the cost of the decisions that we're making. And a lot of the times we look at the short-term pleasures or the short-term benefits of the situation. We don't necessarily take into consideration the long-term trajectory of how that shit may actually play out because of the energy that is being manifested from, because of the place that it is, because like obviously certain actions are vibrating at lower frequencies. So when we act at certain frequencies, like, you know, the results match exactly the intent, you know? So yeah, it doesn't end well for them, but do you know what? It's cool. I'm not sorry at all, but I wanted them to be miserable. It's okay. It's okay. I get why. It's a human in you. Okay? That's what I say. Okay? Because the human goes through the actual experience. And I don't want to have anybody out here in these streets thinking that I'm like preaching about like being like bitter and hateful. No, not at all. But the human has a right to feel the way that it feels, because it has to actually navigate through the emotional challenges and the psychological like situations in this spiritual warfare that we're navigating through. And a lot of this shit is unseen. These are all the things that are felt and thought as a result of the things that we experience through our physical senses, the things we hear, see, taste, all of that good stuff. So yeah, like, I don't think you should feel bad. You're not a bad person for not feeling bad. It's just karma, first and foremost. It's just the way that shit works. If we go out there and put someone in a position where they have, cried tears over us, naturally the consequences of those tears will fall on our shoulders. It's just the way that it works. So, but yeah, I mean, I low-key feel bad a little bit, just a little bit for him, because I feel like, dang, the way that it hits is hard. But at the same time, I'm still smirking. Can't lie. Okay, next question. Let's get back to the sun. The tea is piping hot, scorching. Aries goddess, I'm telling you, Ariana, there's a lot. Right. Let me, I don't know if Sheikah still wants a reading as well. Let me know if you do still want a reading. You can do a Cash App. Y'all, I done got Cash App. Bare times I come in here and you guys are like, do you have Cash App? No, I'm not really that tech savvy, but you can do a Cash App. I can see it straight away. Once we've got that, then we'll, I guess, figure out what we're doing with your reading as far as the queue. Details are in the description. It's the name. It's the name, Counsciouslyconetted. I am going to, in the meantime, get on with my YouTube bay. Okay, my YouTube account. Oh. It is like Maury, Miss Yaz. Oh, y'all are funny. This is why y'all are my people. I currently transferred to a brand new school and I've been struggling to make friends. My question today is, will I be able to make a best friend in the near future? Looking for deep connection. Oh, and I see Ariona said, yeah, put some advice out there for her. Put some advice out there. We're going to go to like the angel guidance card on this. She did just pop out of nowhere. She did pop out of nowhere and was like, I've been sipping the whole time. Basically, that's what she just did to us. Yeah, she does need some love. She does need some love. Listen, definitely sending you some love, man, because these things, like, they affect us, man. People just, they treat us all sorts of ways. Like, being a good person takes a lot of work. I don't think people, like, really take that into account. Like, it takes a lot of work because we're human. The human, like, instinctively wants to protect itself and defend itself too. Yeah. Right. So it's all good. It's all good, Miss Yes. We're gonna go and unpack my YouTube account's question. And definitely put your advice out there for her as well, Ariana. What do you guys see as far as like friendship in the near future for my YouTube account? Okay. Thank you. I said this is why I chose this deck as well, so that they can speak freely. But yeah, the guidance is for you to communicate very clearly over the course of the next couple of weeks. It really is about like the way that you approach people. I get the sense, I wouldn't say that you may be a little bit socially awkward. Just a smidge. Just a tad. We all are to some degree, right? We have to come out of our shell, you know. Sometimes you're a little bit hesitant on how to deliver yourself. Let me put it like that. Sometimes you're a little bit hesitant on how to deliver yourself, and I think that I think that it's about being able to find the people that you'll naturally gravitate towards. I think what you don't want to do is kind of just draw in friends just because you like want to be able to kind of like have conversations, because it will keep you sort of like shallow to some degree in terms of the friendship dynamics, and you're asking for a best friend, right? So I don't think that the best friend situation is something that's going to happen overnight, but I do see you finding a connection with someone that's like you just connect with them automatically. You kind of like, they get your quirks, they have quirks of their own that you find to be interesting. And you guys like laugh together and you share like weird jokes and stuff together. So I definitely think that it's something that can grow. It's going to take some time to be able to build it though. So within the next couple of weeks, usually when this card comes up, it's like an indication of like 2 to 2.5 weeks. It's just about communicating clearly to the right crowd of people. But you'll definitely make like a really strong connection with someone in particular where you guys get each other. And it feels nice as well. I feel like they're just as I wouldn't say lonely, but they're just as much of an introvert. Let me put it like that, because I don't think it's a lonely thing. I think it's just like being very introverted. Like sometimes it takes a little while to get like your energy completely out of your avatar. Let's have a little look. Yeah, let's see Ariona's advice as well and what's going on. Oh, look at that. Okay, new beginnings. Definitely new beginnings. Butterfly moments happening, butterfly effects happening. So just be mindful of what it is that you're kind of like looking for. Like, what do you want a friend to do? Where do you see like your dynamics? If in college, sorry, I'm going to Ariona's advice. If in high school, try making friends online or become. I love this. She's like given like different, there's different segments to it. If in high school, try to make friends online or become friends with older people. Word, okay, because you tend to mature a lot faster in that way as well. And also, while in high school, try to find a group you can fit into. That part, okay, is very important, because if you like fit into the wrong group, you kind of like cultivate a side of yourself that really isn't who you are, and you spend so much time living in that mask that you create because it becomes safe and comfortable. You just take a longer time to actually like just be your natural self. Okay. So word on that, real good advice. Now let's get to the next segment, right? This is fun, y'all. I enjoy this. If in college, if you go to a bigger college, just keep looking for friends. Also, write down the kind of friendship that you want in a journal or on a piece of paper, or the friend group you want. And it's important, like, to have like some of these details mapped out, because the way that I saw it up there, like, you guys are like both different. Do you know what I mean? You guys are both different, but you get each other. And like your differences aren't like the same differences, but it's just kind of like something that you guys do, right? What else did she say? If it's a smaller college, let's go. If at a smaller college, make friends with people that go to a bigger school nearby. And again, try becoming friends with people online. Manifest your ideal friend group or type of friend 100%. 100%. It's not even a will it happen, it's a when. It's a when. because like you're going to put the work in, right? You're going to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time, scoping out the right people, seeing how their energy makes you feel, seeing how you vibe with them, seeing if you guys can ride the same waves, how long it takes for them to get off the wave, all that good stuff, right? That's what's up, Kayla. Kayla said, at Ariana, I agree because I'm in university and I'm 19, turning 20, and my closest friend from school is 34. Word. It just matures you faster. You get like a lot of cheat codes to life, to like save yourself certain things. You still have to go through your own experiences naturally, right? But yeah. I'm very socially awkward. Oh, it was very hard for me when I moved to a new school. It is. I'm very socially awkward as well. People can't tell that about me, but I'm actually like I'm an Aquarius cusp. So I'm naturally like just a little bit introverted. So I get it. I get it. It will be easier. Oh, you've got so much support in the chat. Look at that, my YouTube account. I hope that that was useful for you because, like, you got some advice there and you also got, like, some guidance on what to do. They've confirmed that there is going to be, like, new beginnings and it is going to be, like, you know, opportunities for you to be able to kind of, like, build, like, real strong and solid friendships. I'll say this much. I think it's going to take like once you kind of like get into a place where you decide that there's a person that gives you like best friend vibes, it really takes you like a good couple of months into it to really decide like, you know, we're best friends and like we're really sort of like happy to be best friends type thing. So just take your time with it. It'll happen. It's more of a when, not an if. Okay, so let's go and dive into the next person. I don't even know if I'm gonna make my time in, but I do have to go, y'all, because I'm gonna have to pick up my little sister from work. Okay, that part. Ariana, let's get your question, beautiful. Let's get your question, and we're gonna dive into some stuff. Thank you guys. You guys are so supportive. I love this. Any thoughts on Nicki Minaj? What you all know? What you all know? What exactly on Nicki Minaj? Like, are you taking me into politics here? What we doing? What we doing? My YouTube account. Let me know. Okay, you can donate, my love. It's cool. You can donate. Go for it. It's fine. I said you can donate to the Cash App. I don't know. I'll put it. Yeah, look, it's on the. I think it's in the description. I don't know if you guys can sort of like see the description, but all the details should be there. Yeah, send over a donation, and we'll get you sort of like up there. Will me and Daniel get married in the future? If not, can you pick up in the cards? Who will I get married to? Yeah, look at that. See, y'all are helping me out. PayPal links in the description too as well, my love. Right. We'll go with these guys. So Ariana wants to know, will her and Daniel get married in the future? Okay. That was pretty straightforward. Okay. What does that mean? So what they're saying, just for sort of clarity, they're saying there's no need to worry. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got not the right time. So more than likely, that's what the no need to worry is about. And not worrying about it. Okay. Let me just I honestly don't see who else I could possibly Listen, it's so much more time left. So much more time left in life. Trust me. You'd be surprised. God hits you with surprises out of nowhere. Who I ended up with was like the last person that I would have thought. But God showed it to me in a dream. Okay, and here we are. So yeah. um yeah. Okay. Okay. So what they're showing me on the situation, I don't think it so clarify this for me then. Why is that? No need to worry because of what? Thank you. Okay. Clarify this. What does this mean? Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking it all in. Sorry, it's like maths. It really is like maths. There's a whole bunch of equations, but they're cards. Okay. 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 So what do you see as the outcome of that situation? Okay. Okay, but what does that mean, y'all? Stop with the games. Stop with the games. So what they're showing me with the situation, right? This whole thing is like it's never the right timing. That's like the main. That's like the main challenge. That bear with me. Sorry, I gotta get this card because it done fell all the way under. Okay. So I do think that you guys get the opportunity to actually like properly at some point have a heart-to-heart conversation. But this is the situation. I don't know that it is well received. I feel like there's a lot of resistances with the situation, and like people sometimes they don't know how to mind the business that pays them. Got it, Shika. I'm gonna come to you next. Let me just finish up this reading. Sorry, y'all. It's just the politics. Don't worry, I'm gonna have to get through my whole list and get to baby girl. So we're gonna like speed it up. But no, the situation, you guys get to have a heart-to-heart conversation, but I don't think that everybody else supports it basically, and I think that those will constantly be some of the challenges. I think even on his end, that's one of the things that is like his biggest workaround. And I think even in having the conversation and flirting with the idea, I don't know that he ever fully makes the decision to fully commit to committing to that. Yes, people don't seem to know how to mind their business when it comes to me. He shouldn't care what others think. He shouldn't, but he does. He shouldn't, but he does. And it's not just like people. It's like people he cares about there. It's a no. It is a no. It is a no. And as for potentially who else can be, I said to you initially, like it's one of those things where it can least surprise us, because that's one of the things that they're showing to me, that like it's one of those things that kind of like comes in one of those unexpected moments. And I think this is what I'm going to say to you. So this is interesting. What you like now isn't necessarily what you'll end up liking. Like, that's how they're putting it across to me. Like, you're still growing into like a lot of yourself and what it is that you're looking for in a partner and what it is that you're prepared to. Because it's not just about when we're in like partnerships, when it comes to like marriage and stuff. Some of the values that you have, doesn't Daniel's values don't necessarily well, there you go. Daniel's values don't necessarily align in the same way. So I think it's one of those things where no, it's not changing completely. I think it matures. I think it matures, and that's the best way that I can put it. When I say mature, I think it develops. So there are things that you like, but you start to like fine tune what it is that you like about it and what it is that because sometimes some of the things is like anything medicine. If you take too much of anything, it gets to the point where it's not as sweet for you, or you don't feel as good sort of like taking it. So I think it's one of those types of situations where it gets to a place. I've come across way too many guys that care what others think. Yeah, and I think it's a little bit I guess it's a little bit more of a challenge for guys, maybe just because they have to sort of like do with the whole like bravado sort of stuff, and that's kind of like built in them from like younger ages and stuff, so they get like used to that kind of archetype quite a bit. So the person that you do end up marrying though is more of a reflection of the things that you want in a man, like really. And I'll say this, like, he's worth the wait. Like the way that I feel like your energy in that space, like you're happy, like you're content, like they make you feel like you're the shit and you don't have to question anything about you with the situation, because like there's a security there. Okay. Guys like Daniel are rare nowadays. Daniel is a traditional masculine guy, and a lot of Gen Z guys aren't like that anymore. No, definitely. I think one of the things that you don't necessarily take into account, however, is as much as you have a lot of traditional values as well, you also have a lot of unconventional belief systems as well. And I think that those potentially may have been some of the areas that I don't know that he would have been willing to expand himself, which is why I think it's to know what they're sort of putting across. Okay. I don't know if I will possibly like this guy more than Daniel. That listen, don't worry about it. He's still yet to prove himself to you. It's not one of those things. Trust me, it doesn't compare. That's just the best way that I can put it. Like, it doesn't compare. Like, when this man is by your side through all of the milestones in life that you'll take within your partnership, like, it really doesn't compare. You look at him in a completely different way. The two aren't even on the same level. That's the best way that I can put it to you. But yeah. All right, we are going to, damn, time is moving so quick. Is it just me, y'all? Because I feel like it was dark at like 8 o'clock and I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Oh, Dominique, the free list is closed. I'm literally just going on to a donated reading for Sheikah quickly. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you. I know. And honestly, I wanted to be able to like just keep it true with you, because I know that there's like a real deep connection. And I can see why. There's a lot of values that he does have for you. And I think if anything, like your partner builds upon those for you and even more. So yeah. I know. I can imagine. Take your time with it. It doesn't have to be like today, tomorrow, anytime soon. Just kind of take your time with it. All good, Dominique. Try and tune in next week. Sub and hit the notification so you know when we go live, because I can't tell you these days. It's been sporadic. whenever I can like fit it into the schedule, that's when we do the stuff these days. Okay, beautiful. But we hope to have you back again. Shika, do you want to put your question out there, my love? We can go ahead and dive into it. Maybe it's taking you a minute to type it. Is it a long ass question? Is it one of those types of situation where there's like so much to the whole thing? Let's see. Do you know what, guys? I'm gonna share next week. I'm gonna come on and share my little story with you guys and like share the link for anybody else who wants to tell a story about like a friend that they've navigated through some stuff with. Oh, Sheikah's posted her question. That's gonna be lit next week. You tune in next week, guys. Next Thursday. We're gonna do that next Thursday. Because I'm like making some room. Testimonial Thursday. I'm going to tell you how God's delivering me through that whole little void, because it did create a void. Like when we lose people and stuff, it creates voids. That's why we get so like attached and stuff. Should I trust this guy, Michael? He's a Leo. I really want to know what's his motive, and is he trustworthy? Okay. Let me see how to ask this question to the cards. What's Michael's real intentions towards Shika? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. What's Michael's real intentions towards Shika? As clearly as you can, guys. I know there's still so many factors to it. Show me though. Okay, thank you. Okay. And how does that translate romantically? What does that mean in terms of their journey? Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so hey beauty, thank you for stopping into the room, my love. So answering your question, Shika, they're saying that his intentions towards you, unfortunately, the list is closed, my love. The free list is closed. And I think the donation list is closed too, low-key, because I got to get out of here to go get my little sister from work. Yeah, sorry, y'all. Sorry. It's late. She's got a lot of privileges. But it's like that. I don't mind being that big sister. But yeah. From what I'm seeing with the situation, like his actual intentions towards you is he's really just shooting a shot. He's really just actually like shooting a shot. I think that he's hey M22, how you doing? What's up, man? So Shika, his motives on the situation is really just to actually like shoot his shot and sort of like really let you know how he feels, in all honesty. Okay, let's oh, I missed you. I missed you too. Let's see, there was another part to this question that I was going to break down as well. Okay, how do you see the situation playing out then, in terms of like the trust factor in this space? How do you see like the trust element playing out for these guys? Okay. Thank you. So this is still for you, Shika, because I want to understand. He's shooting his shot, but we want to understand, like, what's this shot? Because not all, listen, you ever been to a doctor's and got a shot, you know it's good for you in the long term, but the short term, it don't feel too good, right? So yeah, okay, so the trust factor, let's see. So when I like parted the deck, they were showing me that, like, you know, how things were sort of like progressing as far as like on their side of the situation, and at least they were sort of like making future plans and thinking about how things could progress and stuff. So it's interesting that after parting the cards and seeing that that's basically the story that was kind of like under the surface here, his actual intention is to be able to kind of like show you that you do deserve love. I think sometimes maybe he can come on a little bit strong, and when I say strong, it's like maybe sometimes a little bit direct. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but sometimes it kind of like maybe cause a little bit of questioning as to what their actual sort of motives are. And I think for the most part, they seem to be direct. Their intentions and motives towards you is that they feel like you could be someone that they could potentially like look towards planning a future with. Now, as far as the trust factor, because I felt like there was two parts to that question that I wanted to break down to really like get to the nitty-gritty. The trust factor to the situation and how that's going to be playing out, right? So that was interesting. The dynamics with that situation seems like it's like ultimately that's going to play out in a lot of undelivered promises, a little bit of actions not aligning with words, words holding more weight than the actual actions being able to sort of like come into fruition. Like the actions ain't backing up the things that are being said, so it's causing a lot of confusion and there's distortion and misrepresentation. It's like, which is it? What are we doing? Type thing. But I think I think I'm not gonna say that it's just on small stuff. I am going to say that when it comes to the trust factor and situation, it's mostly just about the lack of planning. Oh, see, this is the thing, right? This is why it's so funny the way that I've like placed the cards as well, right? So you got these two cards in the present dynamics as far as like the trust situation, right? The trust factor, right? So you got Three of Wands in reverse, and you've got Knight of Wands, right? The Knight of Wands, like my man right here, he a little horny devil, okay? Like that's his thing, right? That's his thing. So he's the more of all the knights, I guess, of all of the like action wise. The actions can be very misleading sometimes, adventurous, but a little bit misleading sometimes when they aren't really on the garden path. What do I mean by that? So this night's supposed to be going somewhere. There's supposed to be a focus, i.e., you and Michael is supposed to be focusing on what it is that one's kind of like doing. I do think that you have a right to question whether or not, from what I can see on the cards, I think you do have a right to question whether or not you can trust them just yet, just because I think that they still have certain behaviors. I guess certain behaviors, they're a little bit charming, flirtatious, a little bit too friendly, not necessarily the right boundaries in place when it comes to certain things. And I think that those are some of the things that leaves you questioning. And you're probably right to question. Their heart's in the right place. Their maturity hasn't developed in alignment to where their heart's at just yet, is the best way that I can put it. So they want it. They're just not mature enough to be able to give it to you completely in the way that they're saying just yet, because they're still outgrowing just certain immature patterns and tendencies, I guess, certain immature behaviors that they've been used to. Should you watch it? No, I don't think it's something that's and I literally just parted the deck just so that I could get confirmation, and anything else could have come up on that deck, to be fair, because it's got so much more than just the no card. There could have been 43 other variables that could have come up in that situation. So it's not something necessarily to worry about per se. I think it's more so baggage that he has. But it does mean that you are going to have to be patient with his process, because he's still figuring out how to become beyond these like behaviors that aren't really serving the two of you guys where you guys are trying to go, if that makes sense. Okay. Hey, Pumpkin Soul! Oh my god! Oh, I think I'm gonna cry. I'm not, but I'm doing an inside cry. Okay, y'all. Pumpkin Soul. I was thinking about you just the other day, actually. I asked the angels how you were doing. Pumpkin Soul was like, the last wave, because I've been trying to build these waves, y'all. Like, and I've failed. Consistency is not my thing. Consistency is not my thing. So Pumpkin Soul, like, you know, she was there when the last wave was being developed. Okay. But yes. Nice to see y'all. Okay. Tarot. I hope that was useful for you though, Shika. I hope that was, see, like, this is what I'm saying, my people, Miss Yaz, you know what time it is. You can see that was coming down from the reading there. But yeah. Yeah. Was that useful for you, Shika? I hope you were able to keep up with that, because I do talk a lot and then I go off on tangents as well. So I don't know how you guys actually keep up with me, but that's why y'all are my people. Oh, snap. Oh, dude. General reading. I hope that you kind of got what you needed from that, Shika. We are going to move on to Miss Yaz's reading now, because we've got about maybe, let's say, 45, 50 minutes left in this space. I'm doing, man. I can't complain. I'm glad to be back online. I'm trying to like develop a wave again. I'm out here in these streets again, back in these YouTube streets. Shika, were you able to sort of like receive that? I'm sorry, beautiful. Because at one point you said that you're back. I don't know where you went. But I hope that you were able to kind of like receive what I had for you there with the situation. My next live is going to be next Friday, as far as like readings. So yeah, it's gonna be next Friday. Right. General reading for Miss Yaz. Hey, Bobby. What is up? Okay, so I see you guys kind of like come in around about this time. Do you know what? I like the 9:30 vibes because I'm a bit of a night owl, but I've got stuff to do today, unfortunately. The night's still young, even though it's not, but it is. Yeah. Yep. I do. I'm coming on next Friday. Let's get a general reading for Miss Yaz. Oh, lucky you guys. It's 9:30 practically. See you then, M22. I got you. And I'm gonna ask the guys to provide you with some downloads in the meantime. Maybe you might get the clarity that you need by then and come in with a whole new question next week. Who knows? Okay. Bye. General reading. Okay. Okay. Put it into context. Yeah, M22. 100%. Thank you. Thank you. Introvert from Kosovo. I'm an Aquarius Pisces cusp. It gets a little bit confusing being in this body carrying all that energy. General reading for you, my love, Miss Yaz. So, what they're sort of saying to me is that you're at a place where you're kind of culminating. You're culminating. So this is interesting. Your garden is your garden's planting seeds. You're gardening at the minute. That's the best way that I can put it. They're showing me that you're avoiding certain, I wouldn't say disasters, but you know how it is, like just certain tower moments, like these unexpected moments where shit just comes hitting at you and you're like, oh my God. You're kind of trying your best to avoid those. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Bright side. I appreciate that. That's a nice compliment. I appreciate you. But yes, Miss Yaz. So one of the things that I'm seeing going on for you during the season of where you are is being emotionally secure. And when I say emotionally secure, it's kind of like that's one of the things that you're cultivating at the minute. You're cultivating that. It's one of the things that's being culminated for you in this garden that you're sort of like planting. What they're showing me with the situation is that there's still some sorry, I'm kind of clarifying what they're putting across here because they're saying so much as far as like the garden. There's so much that's going on. Okay. Sorry, I just had to like randomly just split up the deck because the story is crazy up there. I need some of these cards to help me ground. So what I'm seeing with the situation, right? It's almost like where you are right now, it feels like there's a lot of restlessness. So there's like a lot of constant thoughts that are just constantly like moving about the things that you're kind of like manifesting, like all of these. I don't want to call them worries. I'm going to call them concerns. I don't want to call them worries because I think that that gives them more, I want to say power in that realm. They're concerns. And I think one of the things that I would recommend to you as you're sort of like cultivating during this season for yourself is to treat them exactly like that. You know, they are just variables to situation that your human is trying to kind of because a human naturally like it likes to figure out before it moves and stuff like that. Fear of the unknown is probably like one of the biggest pet peeves to like any human. Okay. So just treating some of these like thoughts as though they aren't as heavy, because what I'm seeing is that you've been under the pressures of a lot of thoughts, and you're kind of culminating to this place where you're free of a lot of these thoughts. And this is where I was going with the whole avoiding disasters and stuff, because in this season, like you are you're proactively sort of planning and moving in the direction of some of the things that you know that you have responsibility for, right? The things that you know that you're okay to take responsibility for, you're really sort of planning for those things. And in a lot of those areas, that's because you feel stuck about some of these things, and you've just accepted that these are aspects of your responsibility that you've taken on, and now you're sort of like planning for them as you're moving forward. Um, but I think what I'm seeing in the lower aspect of what you're gardening as well is that there's like a tendency to be a little bit impulsive when it comes to certain things. And that's what you have to be mindful of with these responsibilities, these thoughts that you're carrying. When I say being impulsive, it's like sorry, it's making me tickled. It's like you have this bright idea, right? And you're kind of like, you just kind of go with it, or you flow with it in that moment, and you just kind of like follow it. um that's good, just not for everything. You have to kind of like figure out how to manage that, because sometimes you're actually doing that as a distraction. And that's become a little bit of a coping mechanism dealing with this waking restlessness as well. As you're figuring out how to avoid these natural disasters, like I'll put it to you like this, guys, right? We don't necessarily like the fact that natural disasters happen, but they're naturally just a reflection of what's actually going on within the ley lines of the earth, because we're on the surface of this stuff, but a lot of these natural disasters are actually occurring because of what's going on deeper than what's on the surface, right? And I think that by you trying to avoid certain things, or the thought process being solely on trying to avoid certain things, you're kind of getting into this algorithm of like just kind of distracting oneself, and going into this somewhat I don't want to say illusionary sort of like realm of thought on it. It's just like imagination for the most part, but it's not necessarily all the way balanced. It's a cardinal energy moment. Yeah, but do you know what? I felt it like, it's part of your like free spirit nature. Like that's how I felt it, because it was like tickling me, and it made me feel like, oh, this is a bright idea. I'm just gonna run with it. And you just kind of have to like manage that a little bit, because I think in this season that you're sort of like cultivating, that may be something in the long term that may affect how you plant some of the seeds that you plant during this season. Okay. And let's close out the space with some guidance for the overall on navigating through this stuff. What's the overall guidance, guys? What do you guys say? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so I utilize the angel cards, and I guess what the guys are saying is that there is something better for you as far as like everything that you're navigating through right now. It's just that some of the keys basically to other realms, to other dimensions of your experiences, some people, some little helpers, I guess, that God has intentionally distributed, they hold the key basically. So they have certain answers, or certain passcodes to be able to sort of like get over to other places. They're saying just ask your angels for help on how to navigate through working through these little helpers, because ultimately they're placed there by God. Even the challenges that comes along with some of these key holders to those realms that you're trying to manifest into your reality. Even they are governed by the laws of God. So working with your angels to be able to bring forth your something better, it will ultimately happen for you within the whole construct of perfect timing. So what that means is that whilst you pour into yourself, the universe is subsequently pouring into you at the same time. And as the universe pours into you whilst you pour into yourself, it brings the manifestation to life, right? So that's ultimately when the perfect timing will sort of reveal itself, because you become a vibrational match to those realities, right? At the minute, it seems like you're working through some of the little stuff that may sort of be a hindrance to when you get over onto the timeline. So work on that impulsive nature and kind of like balancing it in the right places, and keep asking your guides for help. And your something better is coming. Okay. But yeah, that's it. Beautiful. I hope that was useful. Thank you. Thank you for that. Awesome. Hey, Bobby. So the free list is closed. Donation list is closed. So you're going to have to catch me next week, unfortunately, my love. Yeah. Cheyenne, unfortunately, the list is closed as well. Beautiful. And donated list. I gotta get my sister, y'all. She lives a privileged life, but we like it like that. Okay, we like it like that. I work very hard to make sure that she feels the privileges. So who do we have next on the list? I'm like trying to find the list, but I'm lost. Thank you, Miss Yaz. Thank you for the question. Oh, are you? Okay, Cheyenne. I see you. Okay, great. Okay, let's see. Yes. I'd like to know when I will become pregnant. Okay, I'm going to dive into that and see what they're saying on the cards. Can we get another copy of the list up? I can't see when was the last list. If we can, please, guys. Just so that I can know where we are with it. I don't think I've had it. Did I have water? Yeah. Yeah, it's pumpkin soul. Okay. I don't know when was the last list, but okay, so Cheyenne wants to know about pregnancy. What's the timeline on this situation? Yeah, give us a little timeline. When I used to do calls on Psychic Sofa, right, that was one of the things that we weren't allowed to speak about, for a lot of reasons as well. Oh no, feel free to help. Honestly, feel free to help, Pumpkin Soul. You're good. I don't know if Kayla's in the room with us as well still. Yeah, because I'm sure she would have probably put the stuff out there as well. But yeah, they wouldn't let us speak about this stuff because there's so many variables to like timing when it comes to spirit babies. And I think they don't want to get sued. So we weren't allowed to talk about it. It was one of the things that we had to sign a contract to say that if anybody asks about it, we don't go there. Okay, I'm making for good time. That's what's up. That's good. Okay, so I mean, I'm not making for good time, but I'm making for decent time. Just it's better than what I thought. Okay, let me see. Sorry. I'm like, okay. Mm. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm like looking at all the details of the situation. Bear with me, because there's other factors to it. They're kind of like telling me a story. Yeah, 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 yeah. Those are obviously like some of the more pressing matters to a lot of people, but honestly, because timing works different here. Okay. 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 Um, First thing that they're saying to me on the Oracle side of it, they're saying that you definitely sort of like need to rethink the idea of this sort of happening sooner rather than later. It's not the ideal situation for this to happen anytime soon, is what they're saying to me. And I'll tell you why. So, at the minute, although the aesthetics may look like, the home situation could potentially be good. Do you have a steady partner at the minute? Let me ask you that question. And this is for you, Cheyenne. Do you have a steady partner? Let me know. One of the things that they're showing me, that there's definitely going to be like delays with this situation. It's not something that's going to be like a quick overnight type thing. There's definitely a lot of complications to the situation as it stands at the minute. Thank you. So you guys aren't, I don't want to say you guys aren't ready yet, because it's not that I don't believe in what it is that you guys want for yourselves. But I think it's God saying it's too hasty. If it's anytime soon, the foundations aren't necessarily where it needs to be able to kind of like sustain such a transition right now. So when I'm seeing it beyond the year timeline, to be honest with you. Seeing it beyond the year timeline. I'm seeing it around about 13. Yeah, around about 13 to 14 months. Yeah, I'm seeing it around about 13 to 14 months. I don't think that right now. I think that there's still some things that you guys really have to sort of like sit and really reconsider before kind of like diving in. But yeah, I think God's saying right now it would be hasty because you don't necessarily know what's ahead just yet. And there's still some challenges for you guys to be able to sort of navigate through. But give this about 13 months or so. No, you didn't make the list, Bobby, unfortunately. My love, the list closed out a little bit early today because we started at 8. We started at 8 today. I had to move things up, but tune in next week. But yeah, as far as the situation, Cheyenne, they said, don't worry. It's not a situation that you kind of have to like, don't overthink the fact that it's not necessarily happening now per se. These are just some of the compromises that needs to happen to kind of like balance things out a little bit. But give it about 13 months or so. And I don't know if that 13 months timeline that they're giving me means that that's for birth or conception. Let me make that clear. I'm not sure if that 13 months timeline is for birth or conception, but they're saying to me that you're on a road where 13 months from now, things will be in a completely different space where the delays won't, that's something that you guys would have overcome. Okay. So yeah, I hope that that was useful for you. All right, guys. I'm sorry you didn't make the list, Bobby. Tune in next. Well, these are some of the things that are ahead, and I think that that's probably what they're sort of saying. Like right now, some of the compromises that you guys may need to make may be unexpected financial. I don't want to say challenges, but surprises. Unexpected financial surprises that are unplanned for. So it's just one of those things where it's almost like a little bit of a protection, you guys being able to kind of like have this extra time to just work through a few things and just get all the way right, basically. Okay. Rupali, it is your question now, my love. Listen, Bobby, I don't know if you're still here, but somebody else might be able to get in there. Rupali. If you're here, just type yes for now so that we know that you're here. So that we know that you're like just getting your little question together for us. But I hope that that was useful for you, Cheyenne. I don't know if I'd like properly close out the channel for you. But yeah, there's still some stuff ahead. Rupali, are you with us? I speak my truth. Are you with us? Because it would be your go now. It would be your go. And then we'll close out the space with V. If you're here, I speak my truth, then speak your truth. Speak it now or forever hold your peace. Right, is that it? Do we have... Hopefully we don't have to move. Old paint is lead positive. And still waiting on the landlord to get professionals in to remove it. Okay. Yeah, there's still a few things. There's still a few things to kind of like navigate through. Okay, so receive this grace period with gratitude, and do what you can during this time as well. Nest, I guess. Nest for little one, for their arrival prematurely. Sometimes, yeah, it helps. Thank you, Pumpkin Soul. Thank you. I don't think either of them are actually here, which I don't mind because listen, this would be the first time I actually like leave in the 90 minutes ish that I say that I'm going to be here for. So who is actually here? These three people that I can see as well on the live. Clearly Pumpkin Soul's here. So who's the other two people that are here? Definitely. They might have to. That's what I'm trying to like figure out. They might have to be able to sort of take this, but who's here, guys? Come on, just say me or throw a word in the chat. Oh, I know, Pumpkin Soul. I know. Maybe they're busy. Maybe their hands are like occupied. Look at that. Okay, Miss Yaz is here. You've already had your reading. Okay. Yeah, who else is in the building? It's okay, beautiful. Thank you. I guess it's just you, Pumpkin Soul. Look at that. Do you know, it's so funny because they said about 10, possibly 11, but hey. Yeah, and Cheyenne's going now because I just finished like her reading, so she's about to leave. So it's literally just you. Would you like a reading, Pumpkin? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. V, look at that. Yeah. You got here just in time, okay? Just in time. Give us your question, V. I see, Pumpkin Soul. V is back. Yes, give us your question, my love. No, that's okay. That's okay. Listen, thank God, thank the guides. Because you literally just came. Your guides were like, nuh-uh. We waited and waited. You were the last one as well. So, do you know what? I want to see like what question do you have? I don't know what's been like burdening your heart. Let's get your question because clearly God wants this answered for you. So yeah, it's a privilege to be able to sort of provide your clarity. Yeah, I get that vibe. I get that vibe, B. Because the way that things has manifested for you tonight, I can tell that God really wants you to get whatever message he needs to sort of like relay. What's the question though? Give us some insight. It's kind of going full circle and I just need to connect. Okay. So do you just want like a general tarot? Is that what you're saying? A general tarot? Oh, there's like helicopters outside and everything. Somebody's on the run, guys. Somebody's on the run. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do this final reading for V. Pumpkin Soul. I can close out the space with you as my final reading, seeing as you're still here. And then, oh, my love, no, you gotta run through it. Unfortunately, it's the only way to be able to move beyond it. So you've got to run through it. But let's see. What's the overall for and you may very well be. You may very well be. I've stuck it out for years now. I'm proud. Good for you. Good for you. And you should be. You should be proud. You deserve to be proud. Let's see. General reading for V. What's the general for V? Okay. Oh. Okay. Clarify that. Give me some context to it. Okay. Okay. So, my love, few things, right? And I see why they've kind of like brought you into the space because you have every reason to be proud. You're doing amazing work. A few things that you can do to kind of like create some way because what's happening, they're showing me that you're tight in a lot of different areas. So there's a lot of blocked and suppressed emotions that it's almost like they are starting to sort of like manifest, right? They're manifesting from these places of this blocked emotional, it's being like, yeah, it's just being, there's a lot of things that, as much as you've had to take on, I don't know how much you've processed a lot of the things that you've taken on. And I think that that is some of the stuff that you may have to navigate your way through to be able to create some movement, because there's stagnation that's occurring now, because you sort of like you're experiencing your looping, right? Because you mentioned like you're feeling stuck. The actual oracle guidance for you is that trust is the issue. Trust is the main issue. Like the thing that I'd say to work on in your situation is work on your faith. Like when I'm struggling with my faith, with situations, like a lot of the times, right, we're about to have like the Pisces full moon coming up. And that's all about like completing cycles and really just actually being able to complete whatever it is that we're sort of doing. What I'm seeing with the dynamics with you is that when it comes to like your friendships and your community, there's a lot of blocked emotion. There's a lot of suppressed emotions. There's things that you're not necessarily opening up about. And it's causing you to like get to this place because you're internalizing so much. You don't necessarily trust that the situation will improve. But I tell you why you don't trust that the situation will improve, because you're not doing enough to improve your inner state. And I'll explain to you a little bit more about what I mean by that as well. At my job, I'm out in the open. Everyone is looking and there is nowhere to hide, like my coworkers can. Yeah, I think with the situation, it's kind of like being able to kind of direct your energy as well. So energetically, you're wearing a lot of the stresses that you've been navigating through. Energetically, you're carrying the baggage of a lot of the things that hasn't necessarily been processed all the way through, right? So I think like, do you know what? There's a few things that I would do with you, V. There's a few things that I would do if I were you. So, like, because let me tell you something, like, spiritual warfare is like real in these streets, like, word on God is real in these streets. And you're carrying a lot because you've been dealing with so many stresses, right? It's brought your vibration down, because a lot of these stresses hasn't necessarily been processed as such. You've just been kind of like soldiering through, right? So few things that I would do to kind of like get my vibrations up. No, I wouldn't say that. Do you know what it is? Because you're already vibrating at a certain frequency, your conditioned state is naturally allowing for you to receive more of that. And that's why you keep experiencing more of these like projections to kind of like validate the low state that you're in. You gotta, this is one of those situations where I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, but there's just a few things that you kind of have to do. You have to work from where you are towards where you're trying to get to. What do I mean by that? Affirmations sounds cliche, but honestly, like even when I make products as well. So I make like affirmation oils, actually, funny enough. I'm gonna get this stuff up on my website and stuff at some point, but when I'm like putting on my body oils, I'm making intentions. Even for tonight, I was like, we gonna have a lit night tonight. As I was getting ready to come into the space, putting on my affirmation oil, which also has sigils as well, to be able to help the charge, right? You need to one question at a time. I'll tell you something. M has contracts with demons, 100%. 100%. M has contracts with demons, however, you have to bear in mind, like, the only reason you're asking that question is because you know what demons they have contracts with anyways, because you see what their behavior is like, and you can tell that they're vibrating on certain demonic frequencies, right? As far as their thought process. You got to get your vibration back up there. You got to get your vibration back up there. They've depleted it. And when I say they, I mean like these stresses, the projections of these stresses has depleted your vibration a little bit. So you kind of need to be doing your practices. I would definitely cleanse my aura as well. Definitely cleanse my aura as well. I don't know how you go through your process of doing that. Just to, do you know what? And this is one of the lost ones. Prayers, actually. So many, like, it's one of the most powerful cleanses because it speaks the very life into existence of what it is that you're manifesting, and it kind of like creates this shield around you. And to be fair, like I work with sigils a lot, so like sigils are like magical symbols. So you can take an incense, for instance, and like create the sigil of protection in your field. Like just keep protecting yourself, keep elevating yourself, and keep protecting yourself. Because I think this is something that we don't do oftentimes, where we're constantly like elevating ourselves, but we're not protecting ourselves at the same time as well. And we leave ourselves, our new selves that we're building, we leave that self susceptible to all of these things that are out here in these streets. Hey, Sneha, unfortunately, I'm finishing up sort of like the last reading for now. Yes, definitely. I'm sorry, Sneha, if you kind of like tune in next week, you might be able to sort of like get in on the list, but you got to come early because I'm telling you, the list gets packed real quick. Like everybody be getting in quick time. So yeah, thank you kindly, beautiful. But yeah, definitely want to put, like, when you feel and sense the energy, like, and we have to take it into consideration as well. A lot of these people are just subconsciously like they're just subconsciously charged. So these little forces, these little demons, like they just attach themselves because they see that these people are ignorant. Basically, they don't know what they don't know, and they use that against them, because that's the unfortunate thing. Like, the demons actually know the human body a lot better than us humans do, unfortunately. So they know how to use us a lot better than we know how to use ourselves, and they know how to use our powers a lot better than we know how to use ourselves. So you have to just kind of like keep it in mind that you're not necessarily fighting these particular people. It's just that they too have their own contracts with these low vibrating spirits that they need to break through and break away from. So as you're kind of like navigating, these are some of the best prayers that really works, right? This is like how you take out some of these like dark agents out here that are like just moving like little snakes through different people that we consider to be like somewhat close to us, or people that generally has access. When you pray for them, right? When you pray for your protection, you pray for their protection as well. You pray for their protection as well, because then that annihilates any means of that entity being able to work through that person to get to you again, to be able to formulate. Because a lot of the times it likes to like grab as many humans as it can to like feed. Do you know what I mean? It's just trying to like feed its energy state, basically. So is that what it appears like? So is that why it appears like they are conscious of it? Yes. They're conscious of it, but it's more so on a subconscious level, which is why when you probably do bring these things up, because they aren't consciously aware of it, it triggers their demons and they instantly go into defense mode. So now that demon is on trial. It doesn't want to leave the body, it doesn't want to leave the person, and it likes basically the way that it's able to like maneuver through this person, like especially if the person's naturally quite manipulative in their behavior and shit. Like, they're like, this is a good one, I don't want to lose this one, like this is a good host. So I know what you mean. I definitely know what you mean. Subconsciously, they know. So what I mean when I say subconsciously, the demons know what they be trying to do, but consciously, that human don't know what the demon be trying to do a lot of the times. And sometimes they do know, and they just play dumb. That part too. Okay, that's when you're dealing with them gaslighting spirits out here in these streets. like them serious narcissists that even when you see the shit in their face, they're gonna tell you that you lying. Those types of people. So yeah, low vibration people attract demons. They are exactly that. Like if you have any wounds that you haven't necessarily listen, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Gotta get ratchet in these streets. I'm telling you, like this whole concept as well that everyone's like building up in collective consciousness about demon time, like that's actually going to grow into a thing. Like there's that. I don't even know if we really understand the magnitude of what it is that we're building in these streets at this point of collective like evolution, but it's really okay. Do I have any demons controlling me? What would you have? Because I'm telling you, that's how they feed. They feed off your wounds. And as they feed off your wounds, they manifest through your actions. They manifest through your behavior. That's how they move. I'm gonna like start coming on here and like out in different demons and how they move and how to like get through them and navigate and what wounds they attach themselves to and all that shit. Like, trust me, Demon Hunting 101 is coming. It's coming. I've been saying that for a minute, but it is coming. I'm just trying to like, you know, get myself all the way together, because once I start outing them, they gonna come. They gonna come. And you know, I gotta make sure that I'm prayed up and protected. Okay. But yeah, that's literally it. That is literally like the way different demons, they attach to different wounds though. Like in different demons, they gang up together because they vibrate in the same cluster. So they're not like the same vibration, but they vibrate within the same cluster. So there's different levels of darkness and low vibrating entity. Listen, I'm gonna break the shit down. Don't worry. I've been like getting trained in spirit for like the last 3-4 years, like to get prepared for that shit, to just kind of start outing, I guess, their process. And the different chakras that they move through as well, because the body's designed to process these things. This is why they know us better than we know ourselves. So they go in the lower levels of our emotional processing, which is like, listen, I'm going to break it down. But yeah, if you've got any wounds, be sure to nurse those, because then you cut the entity off its supply. If you've got any daddy issue wounds, mommy issue, listen, work through as much of that stuff as you can, because then you relinquish your contracts with those entities. You basically like cut them off their supply. They ain't got shit to eat and they must go. Okay. They must evaporate, because you are no longer a conditional climate for them to be able to sustain and live. So they have to move. But yeah, that's it. How do you work through stuff? Honestly, I'm going to come on here and really like dive into that. I'm going to come on here and really dive into that and like really have discussions, because there's so many things that one has to really be able to work through. Working through stuff is really understanding that you've been through stuff. That's the first place to start. Really understanding that you've been through shit and what is it that you've actually been through, because those are the things that have made you who you are. But also in going through those things, it's about making sure that you're at a place where you're not still carrying those things with you. So if you can think, oh, what can I equate this behavior to? Why is that behavior? Okay, so when you get triggered, basically, if you get triggered, ask yourself, why am I triggered about this in this moment? That's strange. What program is this? That's how you get access to the information of what's going on back there in the subconscious mind, right? And then once you realize what program it is, so when I say what program is this, it's usually God will start to show you and the guides will start to reveal to you, you know, what core memory may be attached to that feeling that you're actually looping on, basically. And it will show you that that's basically the core memory that that entity is feeding off, because a lot of the times these entities get into contracts with us when we're kids and we're susceptible, when we don't know better behavior. And that's really like the gag, because that's really actually how they hold us for as long as they do to the contracts that they do hold us to. But unfortunately, Pumpkin Soul, I won't have time to read for you, my love. I have to run out, but I hope to see you next week. I do hope to see you next week. Do you want me to pull a quick oracle card for you, as far as like guidance, let me know, because I do have to run now. But thank you, V, for stopping back into the space. Clearly, God wanted you to hear all of these things, and he need me to know that there really is people out here. Because I keep asking God, like, when can I release this kind of content? Because I feel like sometimes the content's too heavy, and I don't know if like mankind is really actually there yet. Because I've been training for this shit for a minute, but when you have these conversations, a lot of the times, like, people didn't really want to hear it. So now it's nice to see that we're ready for it as a collective, like to actually do the work there. Because I think that was the thing. I don't think people really wanted to do the work. They just wanted to be fixed. They wanted someone to come in and fix them. But God's like, no, you have to actually like do the work to get out of this state. It's a crisis that you're in. Oh, thank you, V. Thank you. Definitely tune in, man. Tune in. There's lots coming for this channel. There's lots and lots coming for this channel. Trust me. I'm just getting a little bit better at like keeping to my timing with stuff. Consistency hasn't been like my best behavior. I'm a Pisces, so I'm flaky. But I'm working on it. Okay. Yes, y'all. Thank you, Pumpkin Soul. It was really nice to see you tonight. Like, I know we haven't like seen each other, but I literally asked the guides about you maybe like 3 days ago. And I'm like, you know, if she's out there and like, you know, she's like yearning for the connection with the family, like let her know the family's out here. So I'm glad that my guides actually passed on the message to you, and I'm glad that you took heed, and I'm glad to see you here tonight. That's how magic works. Okay. On that note, Nozila, we are finished for the night, but thank you for the love and the light. That felt like poetry coming from your lips. But no, unfortunately, we're finished for the night, my love. I'm literally just gonna dash out tonight, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me tonight. Tune in next week, Jozila. There you go, Jozila. Tune in next week and come bright and early so you can catch the list. Okay, my loves. I'll catch you guys next Friday. I'm going to be in next Thursday as well. I'm going to be doing a testimonial Thursday about navigating through the spirit of competition in relationships. So that's going to be an interesting watch. And I'm going to tell you guys about a little story time about me navigating through that same spirit myself and how it's manifested and how the karma of that is about to be rectified, because God's about to, you know, turn the pendulum around. On that note, guys, I will catch you guys next Friday. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm sending you guys so much love, man. My people, I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys tonight.
All the things they said to hold her back, they never seem to leave her head and tend to keep her mind at war. All the things they said to hold her back, they keep her locked inside of all the times when she's been hurt before.
Peace, y'all. I'll catch you next week.